Today we finally get to actually see what the brand new tank is going to be at the end of the Resolution season, which has lasted about a year. And so we've been working our way through a ton of seasons throughout the entire year, and of course been able to at least pick up the T-34 Calliope or Calliope when you actually complete all of the seasons, or at least 5 out of the 6 seasons that have been part of this Resolution kind of event that have been going on in World of Tanks console. So as a brief overview, what is the Resolutions event? Well, it is essentially a kind of event that Wargaming have been running that essentially you complete multiple seasons to be able to get a final kind of vehicle reward that you can get at the end of it. Now you can either purchase this with real money if you don't really want to have to have completed all of the seasons, or if you have actually completed 5 out of the 6 total seasons, you will have got this tank completely for free, which is brilliant because of course that lasts the last 6 seasons. So provided that you've completed, you know, this season or like 4 of the other ones previously to this one, then you will have been able to get this tank. And by 4 previous, in terms of 4 out of the 6 that have been available total. So with each season that you complete, you get a 20% discount, and that gives you, of course, 5 seasons will give you a 100% discount, so it will cost you nothing to be able to pick up this tank. Now, what is this tank? Because, of course, we want to be able to see it. Well, I've got the actual, I guess, World of Tanks console live stream that was actually streamed on Friday, and, of course, you can see it here. Now, it isn't the best of quality, so hopefully it will get slightly better, but you can kind of see where they're going with this. Some missile tubes, and, of course, we can actually move the screen down just so that you get to see it. Now, obviously, everything is subject to changes. There might be completely different when it comes into the game, but you can see it is a rocket tube vehicle. So these are not guided missiles, they are a rocket tube. This is an M4 Sherman variant that of course has these rocket launcher tubes, which are going to be able to be fired one or all at once in kind of a clip, I would expect. And maybe we'll get to see a bit of action in a second, but primarily this tank is free for those of you that have completed a lot of the seasons. You can see here, this is the first clip that we do have available. This is what it looks like. You can't guide the missiles once you've actually fired them, and so you are going to have to actually, aim properly when you fire them and lead your shots with them. They are very, very slow rounds. You can see here is a T-20 who's been absolutely annihilated with this tank. Now, it appears like it is going to be a 6-shot autoloader in terms of how it plays in the game with those missile tubes. So with each one, of course, you can see here, these are all the launchers going in, and it looks like it's dealing quite a bit of damage per shell when it does actually hit. And you can see here, this was a T-21, the Tier 6 American medium tank / light tank, you know, the one that leads on to the T-20. But essentially, it's removed a lot of the hit points of this tank. You can see here, it moves side to side and stuff. And so, no, this is not going to be like a missile launching vehicle. It appears like it is going to be what you expect with a rocket tube vehicle, whereby you fire off your rounds. If you don't actually hit, or if you haven't led your shots well, then it's just going to go miles away. They're very, very slow, so it's going to be one of those things that you use up close and personal. Now, given how much damage this appears like it's doing, about 200 from like 175 to like 200 damage per missile tube, and you've got 6 of them. If you can find the rear of tanks, if you can find the side of lightly armored vehicles, it looks like it's going to be dealing a lot of damage, and there's no indication just of yet as to how much damage or how much penetration this tank is going to be actually having. So just by speculation on seeing the clips there, looks like it's about 175 to 200 damage. Could be slightly higher, could be slightly lower, dependent on high rolls and that sort of thing in the game. But it looks really, really interesting, and I've got a feeling that this tank could be pretty annoying if you are playing in a medium tank in these lower tiers, because yeah, I mean, being hit for 6 lots of 200 could be pretty devastating. 1200 total damage it could deal to you, which is basically most tanks at that tier from full health. So you want to be very, very aware of these things when they do drop. Now you might be thinking, When are these tanks actually coming in? Well, there's been no confirmed date by Wargaming, or at least not that I know of so far, as to when this thing is going to be coming into the game. But given the fact that this is the final season and the fact that the season ends in a week's time, I would be expecting that it will be coming in about a week or 2 weeks time. Obviously at the end of the season, that means that you've completed the season. They'd probably give it a little bit of a delay so that they can record the data and enable everyone to get the tank. Now I don't know if that's actually the case, but I would guess give it 7 days from when the season ends. That's probably when we'd expect it. This is speculation, this is what I'm saying, I'm not confirming anything, but I would guess that that's probably what's going to happen at the end of the season and when you guys have completed the season. Obviously, if you can get to rank 100 in this season and you've done that in the last 5 seasons as well, you can get extra rewards. So ultimately, however many seasons that you complete, you'll get a 20% discount. If you've completed 6 seasons, now obviously that would end up with 120% discount. Now that's not going to happen, they're not going to give you gold for buying the tank, but what they will do is they've got some special rewards which have been highlighted on many of the news articles and of course the Resolution site, I believe, that if you complete 6 out of the 6 seasons, then you'll get some additional rewards on top of the Calliope or the Calliope within the game as well. So not only are you getting a free premium tank for completing the seasons and on top of all of the free premium tanks that we've got from it, but we'll also get some extra rewards, which should be nice. I'm expecting nothing major, maybe a little bit of silver, maybe a little bit of XP boosters and stuff like that. But of course, the Calliope is actually coming into the game, which should be really, really fun. Looking forward to seeing what it has to offer in the game. And just fingers crossed it's not completely broken or anything like that. Obviously, we've also had a few more bits, which is the final push for the Resolutions kind of all 6 seasons. And for every 3 enemies that you take out in the game, you'll get an extra season point to help you finish over the line or get you over the finish line even. So of course that will be within next week. Obviously this update comes on Tuesday. The Calliope or Calliope will be coming in at the end of this season, I would expect. So it's not coming out on Tuesday, at least not from our knowledge. But yeah, it should be really, really cool to see this tank in the game. Obviously expect a tank review whenever that comes into the game. And of course, that's not a massive amount of information for this week. But for those of you that are wondering, and maybe you've heard something, maybe you haven't watched any of the videos recently about the upcoming Cold War economy changes, there are some changes coming to how much modules will cost, how much silver the tanks will cost, how much XP required will be for various different tanks in Cold War. It's all been reduced. We've done a few videos on it by this point, so if you want to have a look at those, I will link them on the screen right here. But as of everything else, there'll be some sales in the game, and maybe we'll cover that in a specific video later on in the week where we cover some of the sales for those of you, and of course some of the extra operations that come in from the week. But the whole point of this video was to just give you a little bit of a sneak peek on the T-34 Calliope, which should be really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Obviously I've completed 5 out of the 6 seasons and we're just about to finish the 6th one, so I'll be able to review it straight away whenever that comes into the game, and so you guys can kind of see what it's like and how you can play it. But other than that, I hope you had a fantastic weekend if you are watching this on the release, and of course if you're having a bad day, hopefully this video made you a little less bad. But either way, yeah, I really do hope you have a fantastic rest of the week. Thank you all for your support on all of the videos recently, and I hope you join me back in tomorrow's video where we look at some actual tanks in the game, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.